her drag name in this is Rachel Tensions. Like racial tensions.
That's so funny.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dial M for Movies, the podcast where we overthink movies so you don't have to. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Kadija.
And we're so glad you're here. If you're new, welcome. This is a podcast where we deep dive into films, celebrate what we love, and occasionally get way too passionate about things that probably don't matter. And if you've been listening for a while, thank you for coming back and enabling us once again. You're the reason we keep doing this. Some quick housekeeping before we get into today's episode. If you're enjoying the show, we'd really appreciate a 5-star rating on Spotify. It helps more people find us and honestly just makes our day. And you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Dial M for Movies Pod, where we post clips and interviews and behind the scenes moments. We're also now on YouTube, full episodes with the same handle. So if you've ever wondered what we look like while we're having very serious film discussions, now's your chance. On today's episode, we're diving into TIFF Next Wave, where we both saw 3 films this past weekend as part of that festival. But before we get into that, Kadija, what have you been watching this week?
For TV, it's only been one thing, which is The Pit Season 2. I'm not going to get into it. What
are some spoiler-free thoughts?
Yes, I will give some spoiler-free thoughts. First one being, I am not sure Season 2 stacks up to Season 1. Season 2 is very much the Robbie show, and while I understand that he is the main character, I get it. There's only so much that I can take, especially if he's continuing to be a really misogynistic, just very dismissive person to his female coworkers. And I feel like the majority of scenes that he was in was just Noah Wyle trying to hold back tears and like exiting a conversation, like with words having fallen on like deaf ears. Like it was just not good vibes from him. Not that it has to be, but I'm just saying like there's a difference between Season 1 and Season 2 Robbie. And I understand there's a 10-month jump, whatever. I get it, but still. I just feel like everything really centered around him, and that was really disappointing. The Supriya Ganesh news of her leaving is also one that like people wanted to see a well-rounded close for Samira, which I don't think was very satisfactory. And I think overall the pacing was really weird because there was something happened in the earlier episodes, and it just felt like by the time the finale rolled around, it felt like years had passed, and it was just hours. So yeah, I think the pacing's off. And I saw a TikTok where this guy, I really should know his name and give him a proper shout out, but he was talking about how he thinks that the structure of the pit is starting to work against itself, and I'm starting to feel it too. But
like the 1 hour per in the day, I see,
of the structure of how there's only we only see 15 hours of the day and it's one shift. But I reluctantly will be seated for Season 3. I am a fan of the show. I genuinely love these characters, but yeah, I think I really expect more, and hopefully with the fans' outrage of certain things, like they will take into consideration, they being the producers will take into consideration some things, and hopefully we can get a well-rounded storyline for Season 3. So that's that with TV and movies. I rewatched Mile End Kicks, which was so fun. That was one of my favorites from TIFF. So getting to see it again in a room full of people who also just love movies was really great. I watched Apollo 13 for the first time the day after the Artemis 2 mission, and
space. You said space.
I said space. This one actually, it was cool, but they didn't even get to the moon. I didn't even know that much.
Did they go around the moon?
They were supposed to land on it. They didn't even go around it. I think they just tried to reach it and then fell back down because there was issues. I rewatched the drama, girl. Let's talk about it a little bit actually. Yeah, because you've seen it now, haven't you?
Yeah, I liked it. I was honestly surprised you gave it 3.5, I think.
Well, it's because I did give it a 4, and then the more I thought about it, I was just like, this was a little too. It leaned into the bit too much. Do you know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean? I don't know
the
how.
whole like.
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna. Oh my god, I was just gonna.
I know.
Wait.
I saw you were going for it. Like
Yeah.
into the twist, like what she did.
Yes. Yeah. I
Okay.
think it was
Like the
very.
flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But what I think saved it, because I just didn't know that they were going to go down that route, and it took me for a surprise. But I think what saved it was adding the bit of comedy, you know.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, go ahead.
No. You keep going.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I don't think I was a fan of the ending as well, but
Okay.
I just feel like it wrapped itself up too neatly. But also, I do think they match each other's freaks. So, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, what were we gonna say?
I appreciated. I actually kind of liked the ending that they kind of left it how they did. Like we didn't get to see too much of the aftermath, and I thought it kind of worked in its favor because I was like, it was never really like about the wedding. Like it was about how they dealt with this situation.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked that it was left there. But I also agree. Like I loved the comedy kind of sprinkled throughout, and I just think they had really, really great chemistry.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Zendaya, oh my god, she looks stunning. And Robert Pattinson looked unbelievably gorgeous, and I just think them as a couple like worked really well. And bitch, fuck Rachel. Fuck
no, Rachel.
Fuck
you
Rachel.
Nasty
You big fat nasty.
What does that voice go? It's
I don't remember.
So true.
But yeah, I think it was interesting. I'm a big fan of this director, Christopher like Borgli or something.
Mm-hmm.
He did Dream Scenario a couple of years ago, which I really like. And then he has another movie I called Sick of Myself, I'm pretty sure, which I have not seen.
Is that the one where the poster where someone's like head is wrapped up?
Yes.
In a bandage? Interesting. Okay.
But I thought it was like quite interesting. Like I think there's maybe an episode or two ago where you had seen it and I was like, I think she did this. And I was wrong. But like I wasn't like so far off, I guess. Like I really did not think that was the direction they were going to go with what she had done. And I saw an interesting video online saying that no wonder Rachel was like so like no, or the three of them I guess were like so scared by this what is the word admission of something.
Yeah.
Because like the other three people were all kind of like serial offenders in like this worst thing that they had done. Like the what was Rachel's boyfriend's name? Mike. Yeah. So like Mike within the movie is like hiding behind his like partner. And like I forget what he said about Rachel and what Charlie had admitted to, like I don't want to say not that his was it wasn't very exciting, but
his was bullying, wasn't it?
Yeah, like cyberbullying and like to the point of like someone having to like move away.
But then Mike goes, "Oh, that doesn't count. You were 14." But it's like you still did it, you know?
Yes. And like he doesn't even like acknowledge that could be like that this kid moving away could have been because of him and like his obliviousness and something like and I wish I remember the video better. But it was like something about how all three of them have been serial offenders in some way.
Yeah. All three of them actually committed the thing, whereas Emma was and it was just her thoughts. She just thought about doing it. No wonder
they were so scared because they were like, we have all done this again, so why wouldn't you? Which was just interesting. Anyway, I liked it quite a lot. It was definitely different than what I thought it was going to be. But I loved the editing. I kind of liked that how jumpy it was. And you didn't always see like what happened and it kind of like cut away quickly.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Anyway.
I also just love Haley Gates and I think she was great as Nisha.
Yes.
Love her down.
Huge fan. Great in the moment and great in this.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. I don't know why I did this, but I rewatched The House of Dynamite. I think I just really love Rebecca Ferguson in this. And then like we only get her for 30 minutes. I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna stay for Tracy Letts. And then we get Tracy Letts, and I'm like, okay, fuck, I'm just gonna stay for what's it called? Idris Elba. And then I finished the movie, and I was like, okay, this is how they keep you. This is how they keep you. I watched Black Mirror Eulogy, the episode with Paul Giamatti. It wasn't as like Black Mirror-y as I thought it would be. It's like San Junipero, but for the straights, and it was really cute and really sweet, actually, but actually not that sweet. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a good episode. Then we watched Roommates, and then we watched Our Hero Balthazar, which I keep calling it My Hero Balthazar, and I'm like, I don't know why.
Oh, he's our hero.
He's ours. He's our hero. And then I rewatched Ready or Not to watch Ready or Not 2. Here I come. I loved Sean Hannity in this. Looked so good. Insane. Clinically insane, but hey, it worked for him.
Yeah.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar, they played twins, or I feel like it was twins. They could have been brother and sister, but whatever. They played Familia. And so did Catherine Newton and Samara Weaving, which I'm obsessed. I love the like golden retriever energy that she brings to this role and to this movie. Catherine Newton, and then like Samara Weaving is just like there being like, what the hell? Why am I in this again? But it did kind of remind me of They Will Kill You, since I did watch that first. And it's just a sad coincidence that both movies came out at the same time with the same kind of premise. Sisters, satanic, worshippers trying to sacrifice someone. It's just a lot, but yeah, it was so good. And then we watched Big Girls Don't Cry at TIFF Next Wave, and then I watched one of my honestly favorite movies, Fair Play, starring Phoebe Denevere and Alton Onrick. So yeah, that is it for TV and movies for me. What about you?
It's actually been a while since we've talked, I realized, because I don't think we recorded since I went on vacation.
Yeah, so you have a lot.
So I have a lot. So I'm just going to run through. So I'm watching Daredevil Born Again on TV, which is really good. I'm enjoying the new season a lot.
Yeah.
I'm still watching The Sopranos. I'm almost done season 3. There was a very, very good episode that I watched that I unfortunately watched when there was a man around. But like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And what else am I watching? I finished... Oh, I also started watching One Piece, the live-action One Piece on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the anime?
No, but my brother had, and we were together, and he was like, do you want to just like try? And I was like, sure. And it's actually really fun. And then I also watched the Netflix show Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen, which I loved. Loved it. Okay. I really would recommend it to anyone. I'm a huge fan of Camilla Morone.
Yes.
And Adam DeMarco, and I think they both did incredible in this. Camilla Morone is a absolute star, and it was just like so weird and funky and scary and cool. And it kind of reminded me of like Haunting of Hill House type of thing, but like not quite as scary, and more like funky and weird. And it was just very cool. So I'd recommend that. So yeah, I watched that. I rewatched The Running Man with my brother, which was super fun. My score went down a little bit just because I was like, I think seeing it in a theater like really impacted my viewing experience of it. And then we watched another movie called Hardcore Henry from 2015, which I had never seen. And it's very strange. It's like a POV movie. Like it's like an action film about this guy, but you never see his face. It's like fully from his point of view. It's very strange. So it was a little like disorienting, but I enjoyed it. And then rewatched Crime 101 with my dad and brother, and they were both kind of like, it's okay. And it kind of was the same with me. Like watching it in a theater definitely impacted my viewing experience. Then I watched Pizza Movie, which I actually thought was pretty funny. And like, I watched it on the plane home, and I actually was like laughing out loud quite a lot. I then watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I liked, but it was very much just like fan servicey video game references. Like the story was not good, but like they had Glenn Powell as Star Fox, which I loved, and he was so good, and I liked the references, so I didn't really mind. So I enjoyed it. Not as much as the first Super Mario movie, which I actually like quite a lot. Then I watched the drama, which we already talked about, and then I watched Playtime by Jacques Tati from 1967 with my mom and grandparents when my mom was visiting last weekend. Very strange movie, but really fun and cool. It's like a French movie from the 60s. There's like barely any dialogue. Like it almost made no sense. There was like barely a story, but it was fun. Then we watched Roommates and Our Hero Balthazar, and then yesterday or 2 days ago, I rewatched Drive for the first time in several years, which my god, that movie's amazing. I forgot how good it was. I think I watched it like right when I was kind of getting into film, like 2021-ish. And oh my god, it's so good. Like the soundtrack is unbelievable. And Carey Mulligan, Oscar Isaac, Ryan Gosling, just absolute stunning
I did not
cast.
know that. I did not
like,
know Oscar and
stunning cast.
Whoa.
It's so good. I gave it 5 stars. And then I watched a movie called Mona Lisa Smile from 2003 with Julia Roberts.
I need to watch that.
I had seen like clips of it online. Like scenes will come up on my TikTok or Instagram Reels. I was like, I've never seen this whole movie, and it was actually
people call it like a female version of Dead Poets Society.
It had that feeling. It was like college, like an all women's college, like about feminism and kind of going against the grain. It was like very sweet and lovely, and Julia Roberts looks absolutely stunning in it.
When does she know? Is her hair out?
So true. Yeah, it looks great. She looks great. I really liked it. And then I rewatched Mile and Kicks with my roommate and liked it just as much and realized, hey, this movie's literally about me. Like I felt the connection to it this time watching it than I did the first time. I also remembered that when I watched it at TIFF, I had to leave like 10 minutes before it actually ended to go try and get into a different movie. No, I was trying to get into No Other Choice, like a press screening, and so I was like, oh, let me leave early because it was like literally in the theater next door, but I couldn't get in. So I just missed the last 10 minutes. So I'd actually never seen the last 10 minutes with the herpes.
Yeah.
So I loved it. And then we watched Big Girls Don't Cry. And then last night I watched a movie called To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Oh my God, I loved it. Yeah. It was like, it's about these 3 drag queens who are driving to LA and their car breaks down in like a really small town. And the 3 drag queens are played by Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, and John Leguizamo. They're amazing. Like unrecognizable. They're so funny. RuPaul is in it. Like,
of course he is. He's the queen of drag.
Literally, like her drag name in this is Rachel Tensions. Like racial tensions.
That's so funny. Is that Wesley Snipes' name?
No, that's RuPaul's name.
Oh my God.
Wesley Snipes is Noxima Jackson, and then Vita Boheme is Patrick Swayze, and then Chi-Chi is John Leguizamo. It's just incredible. What's this movie called?
I feel like I have it in my watch list, but
To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
What?
It's from 1995. So that's like it's like a reference in the film. But it was just amazing. I loved it so much.
That's wild.
And then earlier today, I rewatched Kingsman: The Secret Service, which I adore. It's like one of my favorite comfort movies of all time. And Taron Egerton is so hot.
Retweet.
And yeah, that's everything.
I don't know why I looked at the poster. Like I saw the 4.1. I looked at the poster and I was like, okay, great, drag queens. I didn't know it was like
big actors.
Swayze. Yeah. I'm like, okay, y'all are woke. I love that.
I know, and they're amazing. And it's one of those movies that I would be scared wouldn't age well, and it does age very well. Like there's obviously like references to stuff because it's like in the mid 90s, but it doesn't. It aged better than like Tootsie did. Like when I watched Tootsie.
Okay, yeah.
Like it aged much better than that movie.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Because they're not. Sorry, going back to that for a second. They're not trying to be. They're not pretending to be women to.
No, they're drag. Right?
They're actually drag queens. Okay, that's a difference then.
But they stay in drag the whole time.
No way.
Like, you see them getting in drag at the beginning, but then they're in drag for like the rest of the movie.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the thing because like I'm pretty sure
Tootsie, he's like literally just pretending to be a woman. He's not like doing drag.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the difference. And I feel like, anyways, now we can move on.
Moving on to TIFF Next Wave, which is a youth-oriented film festival and year-round program designed by a committee of 12 Toronto area students in high school who are aged 15 to 18, primarily centered around films for teenagers and young adults. The movies are usually focused around coming-of-age stories, and the 3 that we saw this year were Roommates, directed by Chandler Levacks, Our Hero Balthazar, directed by Oscar Boyson, and Big Girls Don't Cry, directed by Paloma Schneidmans. The first movie we're going to touch on quickly is Roommates, directed by Chandler Levacks. This was a early screening. It is now streaming on Netflix. What did you think of this movie, Kadija?
I mean, I liked it a lot. I think it's just like, it's a really silly and fun movie to put on like a Friday night, and it dropped on a Friday night. And I thought, well, we watched it on Thursday, but still, it had the same effect. I could tell very early on that it was a movie that I feel like you shouldn't take too seriously, especially with comedian Sarah Sherman in it. And just like that, you can't. That's not. It will never be a serious movie with her in it.
No.
Maybe she'll prove me wrong one day and like pop out in a really dramatic role. I'd love to see that. But for now, very deeply unserious. And I really like the dynamic between Sadie Sandler and Chloe East, and it was truly not a comedy but a horror movie between them, but nonetheless it was still engaging, really entertaining. And the only thing I had an issue with was the glossy ending. I didn't know that I enjoyed and they're both on a cover in a magazine now, and I'm like, are they though? She still looks like 14. I don't know. I just don't really buy it. But like I said, it's a movie that you don't take too seriously. You just have a bit of fun with and a few laughs. And I think it accomplished that. And also Canadian Billy Burke and Chandler Levacks directed, which is always great to see. She's having a moment right now with Mile and Kicks in theaters. And now this, which is insane. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of people behind this project. And I think this one is a good one to go see. And you can.
Yeah. It's super fun. It's like very much like an Adam Sandler produced film, and you can totally see he's just kind of like making movies so that his kids can like have roles in them, which is like nice. If
you're not using your power for that, like what are you doing it for?
Exactly. Yeah, it was really fun. Like the dynamic between Devin and Celeste is really like what carries the movie. And I think they had really good chemistry. Like it made sense for them. Like I could see the motivations for both of them. It's like fun. It's not amazing. It's like very predictable and like not groundbreaking, and it plays into like current like social stuff. Like it's very much like a Gen Z.
Very
movie.
much Gen Z. Yeah.
The best part of it by far for me was Martin Hurley. Like he's in so many of the scenes, which I loved. He is so funny. Like he's literally one of my favorite actors, comedians like working today. And there was just so many SNL people in it, which I really, really liked. But yeah, Martin was like the standout for me. And the gay robot. I loved the gay
robot. Yes.
It felt very much like a girl pizza movie, which came out like not that long ago. But yeah, I think it didn't feel very Chandler Levacks. Like after now, like especially being fans are like a fan of I Like Movies and Island Kicks, but I can see why. Like higher budget. It was a Happy Madison production. She had a lot of producers, I'm assuming, like and studios involved, like wanting a piece of this. But I'm glad she's getting bigger budget stuff to do. Music was really good, like the Blood Orange, Needle Drop, the Charlie XCX picks were really good. Yeah, it was fun. Like it's like a fun college movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but also didn't feel like college at times.
Yeah, it kind of felt very high school.
Very.
But I think it's just because Sadie Sandler to me looks young. Like she did not look, which I guess is good because I feel like actual college freshmen to me look very young now.
Yeah, they are getting younger and they're getting shorter as well.
Yeah, which is where like Celeste did not look.
No, because then she looked 23.
Yeah, which I guess she was meant to.
And you're right. Exactly. So maybe it was great casting.
So yeah. So maybe they killed it.
Yeah, maybe they did do a really great job.
But yeah.
Okay.
Moving on to Big Girls Don't Cry, directed by Paloma Schneidman. Over one transformative summer in rural New Zealand in 2006, 14-year-old Sid discovers desire, identity, and the internet as she imitates the people she longs to be loved by. Can I actually go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because I liked it, I think, more than you did.
I think so, yeah.
I thought it was like very powerful, and like my review after it was literally that unforgettable feeling of being 14 and everyone hates you and your body is weird and you're angry with the world and you don't know how to function and you just want to grow up, but growing up is the scariest thing in the world. Because I very much felt that from her, and like that is very much how I felt at 14. Yeah. I'm not a lesbian probably, but
keyword.
Yeah, but like just that feeling of like wanting to be liked desperately by anyone, and like that feeling of shame and weirdness and not knowing how to deal with problems and like discovering sexuality but not so much like getting involved with it. It's very strange, and I found it like very powerful. And I thought the actress's name, Sid, what is her actual name?
I think Annie Palmer
was so great. Yeah, I thought she did such a good job. It's like very subtle, very internal. She communicates so much through body language and like micro expressions and capturing that kind of quiet shame and loneliness that like lingers all the time when you're 14. And it's the kind of performance that like doesn't really demand attention, but like it completely earned it. And I thought it was really good. It reminded me a little bit of Dee Dee from 2024. Like another story about a young teen in the 2000s kind of navigating identity and family disconnect and that like pull of cool but like mean social circles. But it definitely like carves out its own space within like girls and feeling that within the girlfriend groups. And just like becoming aware of sexuality and like the power dynamics associated with sexuality. And it's just so weird. There was just like this really quiet, aching sadness that I felt while watching it, and watching Sid like try to navigate their sexuality without any language or understanding of what it could mean, and like no support system around it. And the film doesn't like dramatize this in like big obvious ways. It kind of just like lets you understand it through like glances and silences and like moments of discomfort, and having Rain Spencer's character Freya come in and like be this kind of, I don't want to say like mentor, but like, I don't know, just like this person who's older who kind of has an understanding of who they are and like looking at them and wanting to be them, but also kind of understanding that she might be attracted to her. I don't know. It just felt very refreshing to me. And like, I think it didn't need it to, I didn't need it to be any more explicit than what it was. And girl, like if she had Lord, like where was Lord?
Yeah.
Like imagine she had pure heroin.
I know.
But yeah, it's definitely rough around the edges. Like it's not a perfect movie, but I think the rawness really worked for me. Well, yeah, I'm curious like what your thoughts were.
I think I feel like my thoughts aren't as comprehensive as yours, because you really felt that in your soul, and I was just like, yeah, no, I mean, I liked it. I liked the movie, but there's just something about it that made me check out halfway through, and I think it's that Sid, and again, I know she's a 14-year-old girl, but just like the character is kind of like going through the motions of trying to figure out who she is, but in doing so is like it just completely destroying her like closest friendships, which again is very true to being 14. But the way she goes about it, I'm just like, surely at 14, I mean, I knew right from wrong, right? And if I could prevent myself from doing the wrong thing, I would. But I'm just like, there should have been like a little bit more of comprehension of a situation there, you know what I mean? But I guess we'll chalk it up to a coming of age movie. But I don't know. I think it's also just a feeling that I get where I'm like, I feel like I've seen this movie before. I can't pinpoint what exact movie it is, but I think it's maybe also because I've consumed many coming of age movies where I'm like, this sort of story isn't like groundbreaking for me, or astonishing or like awe-inspiring, while it is really well made. And I'm like so in awe of Ani Palmer. Like she's really like incredible, but I don't know. I just feel like I've seen this before in a sense. And then also with Freya, I love that you didn't really need not explicit, because I did not want to like sexualize her, but just like a more less subtle way of being like, I am into girls or something of that realization. Because there are moments where she's like thinking, she's having thoughts about girls in a way that maybe like her friend doesn't, but she doesn't explain it to herself in a way that's like, I don't know, like we don't see it fully. It's like very subtle, and I don't know that I just wanted to see more. I'm like, she just comes to a full realization, but I guess again, sexuality is like a spectrum or whatever. But
I just feel like it was I forgot about this after, but like it takes place in like 2006.
Yes,
which is like, I don't even know if, and like rural New Zealand. I don't know if she would like even have like the language or understanding of like lesbianism to like even be able to explain that to herself. I was disappointed. I agreed to a point where I kind of wanted her to be like, to explain to Freya or her friend Tia, maybe to be like, I don't know.
And she does. The only thing like she really voices was her asking Freya, "Am I gross?" That line really stuck with me, because that's like she's having these thoughts and she thinks she does feel different towards girls than most girls her age do. And then she looks to the one person who was kind of like you said, not really her mentor, but kind of like the person that she was trying to emulate. Because Freya was someone who's so cool and very sure of herself, and she just wanted to get that reassurance, and she did, because Freya was like, "No, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous," and then she's like, "Oh, like Freya likes me," and then obviously, things unfold the way it does. But yeah, I think it's a great, it's an okay film, but I love that you got more out of it than I did.
The ending is also abrupt, but I feel like it was kind of intentional. Personally, like it kind of left you with this sense that's like the story is still unfolding. And it kind of just to me, it like reinforced this idea that like coming of age isn't this like clean arc with like very clear lessons, but like a very ongoing process, especially at 14. Like you've barely begun, like because it ends with like her kind of stepping into like womanhood or whatever the fuck people say. But yeah, it's definitely not like an easy watch. Sometimes like it was very cringe inducing and uncomfortable at moments. And like I found myself like sinking in my chair being like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? But yes, I liked it. Moving on to our hero Balthazar, directed by Oscar Boyson. Eager to impress his activist crush, a wealthy New York teenager follows an online connection to Texas where he's convinced he can stop an act of extreme violence. Kadija, what did you think of this movie?
Whoa. that was my true and honest reaction after the end credits rolled. You're just like, what did I just watch? And I think it's one of the most provocative movies of the year that I've watched. It's totally, I think, in theme with the conversation that's currently happening with another movie, which, again, a total coincidence, but it's pretty freaky that they both deal with. How do I get into it without spoiling it? I feel like you kind of see it from the poster, but also...
you can't not... I feel like with this film, you can't not mention that it's about school shooting.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's about a school shooting, and...
Or not a school shooting that happens, but like kind of a fascination with school shootings
Yes.
more
So Balthazar, the main character, played by Jaden Martell, basically has a crush on a girl, and she's very much like an activist, like anti-gun, wants to be at all protests and whatever. And so, because he has a crush, what is he gonna do? He's obviously going to pretend to be very interested in this, and so how he tries to win her over is to go online and this guy stumbled into his life, but he finds out this person that he starts talking with on IG is a school shooter, um, quotes on that. And he is now determined to stop this school shooting that this guy is going to go on. And that's how he will win the girl, because that is how all love stories go. So enter Asa Butterfield as Solomon, who is the guy that is on the other side of that Instagram account. And this movie could be, oh, not could be described as, it is the weirdest bromance I've ever seen on screen ever, but it works because Jaden Martell's fucking fantastic as Balthazar, as this like rich, entitled asshole that has all the privilege in the world, and carries no weight on his shoulders, just walks through each door like people in the room owe him something. And then you have Solomon, who is, again, Asa Butterfield's like incredible. First of all, unrecognizable as well.
Literally.
If someone had told me that was him, no, it's not. I actually didn't even know. I think we were talking before the lights went down, and you're like, Asa Butterfield. I said, what? What are you talking about? Like, I was shocked, and then you see him, and you're like, that's not. What do you mean? Like, this is not Otis from Sex Education. Anyway, so Asa's like, he looks completely different, but is also fantastic in this. And his character is quite the opposite of Balthazar. He's very, what's the word I'm looking? No, I was gonna say incel, but he's not an incel because he said himself he's not an incel.
He's just kind of like sad and like pathetic.
He's a loner. Yeah. He's a sad loner. Comes from a low income household. Cares for his grandma. His dad's in this like pyramid scheme, testosterone pill thing. It's crazy. Avan Jogi is the head of that scheme. It gets wild. But they end up meeting because he's talking to him as a woman. Balthazar's talking to Solomon as a woman. And when they meet, things go off. And it's really tense and it's frightening, but it's really funny. There are moments where I'm like, am I supposed to be laughing here? But because of how like wound up you are, you can't help but chuckle at what's happening on screen. And I it's like difficult, the subject matter anyways, because it deals a lot with like guns and violence, but it does so in a way that's not, I was gonna say making fun of it, but like it takes into consideration what it's doing and like and talks about it in a way that's more personal. And I feel like the more niche and personal you can get with something, the more like human it becomes. And it does like shift your perspective on, I guess, what it means to be friends with someone and the type of friendships that can come from a common ground understanding. And there are so many like questionable choices that Balthazar makes, but there's a part of you that like also pities him because he's a kid whose mom does not care about him. His dad's nowhere to be seen. He's like has another family. Like he's been like left to his own devices. And you kind of see what that creates for him as a character. But I think movies like this are meant to teach us in a way. And yeah, I really loved it. And it has like great depth behind it. And I think Oscar Boyson like really has a knack for, first of all, great like shots, because there's so many in this movie that I was just like, holy shit.
Stunning.
First one off the bat was
the
New York skyline going into Balthazar's room, which is wild. But yeah, I just think this film is definitely one that is worth watching, and when you do, it will never leave you. It's a movie that will stick with you long after the credits roll. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What about you?
Totally agree. Like I loved it. It kind of felt like Gen Z's answer for like Nightcrawler or something like that. Like that kind of
Oh,
movie.
I haven't seen Nightcrawler.
Really good. Like very like bold and unsettling. And just like but kind of mixed with like the chaoticness of like a Safdie Brothers movie.
Right. Heavy on
And
that part.
yeah, and then it's just like this warped buddy comedy dynamic, and it's very weird and disturbing, but like it was a very cool like narcissistic black comedy that just like spirals into something much more darker. It feels like if Roman Roy was like raised on TikTok, like hyper self-aware, deeply broken, and completely like untethered from reality.
Yeah.
And then like every time the movie, like you thought the movie had reached its like darkest point, like it somehow like pushed further. And it was just really cool. It was like really great writing, really cool shots, great editing, amazing soundtrack. It also felt very like weirdly human. Like Boyson like doesn't treat these characters as like caricatures or cautionary tales, like very much treats them as people, like messy and damaged and often horrifying, but like very much people at the end of the day. And the movie, as it goes on, becomes less about like shock value, like from what I thought it was going to be about, and turns more into a story about like loneliness and alienation and like this desperate need to be like seen and heard and understood. Yeah. Jade Martell is fantastic as Balthazar, like you said, like terrifying and weirdly like magnetic and like funny. And he plays his character
funny. Like, even when he's like being so dry.
Literally, he's so good. Like he's such a good actor. I think this to me like solidified him as like one of the best young actors like working today. I truly 100%. Think he's incredible. And it's like a performance that's hard to look away from. But like in this film, like Asa Butterfield is the one that really sneaks up on you. Like his portrayal of Solomon is like insane. He is like transformed, like quiet and withdrawn and like profoundly sad. And like while we were at the screening tragic. With Oscar, like Jaden even like mentioned like Jade Martell was there, which was really cool. And like he even pointed out himself like how heartbreaking Solomon as a character was to like watch, and like that perspective really reframed the performance for me, because I was like, there were moments where I found myself like watching the movie feeling bad for Solomon, and then I was like, why am I feeling bad for this person who like literally threatened to do a school shooting? And then like as you get to know the character more, it's like, oh my god, I do feel really bad for him. Like he is deeply sad, and like during that kind of third act chaoticness where Solomon like breaks down, you see him more as this like very passive figure who's like trapped in their own life. And then like one of my least favorite, or like it was a good line, but like something that made me feel so sad was when the grandmother's like, yeah, like we're getting kicked out, and Balthazar was like, oh, maybe you can like buy a better house.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
it's like a passing comment that he made that's like he doesn't know how that affects other people. And like
he just has no frame of reference for like what real people go through at all. Like he gets driven to and from school in like a black SUV, like
lives in an insane New York like penthouse,
$50 million penthouse. Like it's insane. But the movie is really good. It feels very modern. Like this story could not have existed even just like a few years ago. Like the way it engages with like online identity and performative activism and stuff like that. It feels very like lived in and like kind of scarily real. And like even like when he was like swiping through TikTok, like seeing people just like cry after something. Yeah. And then he just like continued to contribute to the conversation by doing it himself, but just fully lying. It's so weird. And like feels very modern, but modern in a different way than like Roommates. Like obviously they're very different movies, but that one brings in like Gen Z like culture, online culture as well, but like in a very, very different way. But yeah, I think it was like one of the most like daring and like emotionally complicated directorial debuts. Like
very brave.
Yeah, in like recent memory. Like I think you'll probably laugh, you'll probably cry, maybe you'll cringe. It like definitely leaves you with kind of like a pit in your stomach and like a lot to think about. Yeah. And I think it was really, really well made. And the score is also excellent.
Yeah. I just can't get over both of them on the screen at the same time. Like they are
yeah.
they are so good when it's just them. And I'm like, who do I watch right now? Like, well, this is insane. Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyways,